Well, greetings again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt with the American Orthodontic Society, and I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about brackets that we used in most of all the work that we did. We used the ones with the wings or the ones that had no wings at all, and you can do most anything you can think about with these brackets. And I never recommended all these fancy ones that people come up with, but if they can use them and it makes some advantage for them, well, that's great. I like these simple brackets, and I use an 018 by 025 opening in the brackets. Let me start and show you some of this work now. Let's see, I'll have to get my little arrow up here and show you that this is just a picture of a typodont that we're working on, and the brackets have these wings on them. You can see these on the sides right here. You can raise this wing and it'll push this wire and it'll tend to rotate this tooth in this direction. We used those for quite a while, but we were getting decalcification underneath the wings in some of these cases where it's hard to get a brush in there. So the good sealants came along about that time, and we quit and just used a straight bracket. But then these sealants came in, so if you use the ones with the wings to help your rotation, cover the teeth up, etch them and seal them before you start the case, and then you bond this bracket onto the sealed surface of the tooth. And that if they brush it a lot, they'll brush the sealant off at a place, but where they can't get with a brush, the sealant stays. And so you can finish your case up most of the time without any decalcification if you get people to brush them all the time. But anyway, these had wings on them. In the anterior part, I normally just use a single bracket, but here we're showing double brackets, which are easy to tie and rotate the teeth, and you can use them on your broader teeth where you have the inner bracket space in here that allows you to bend the wire more. If you just have the single bracket, you've got a longer strip of wire between the teeth, and you can put more bends or more torque or whatever else in there. And we use the small bracket slots. Now on the upper bands, we put a cleat back here if we wanted to hook up something to them. And on the lower bands, we had the brackets put on 3/4 of a millimeter lower so that this buccal cusp of the upper 6-year molar and the second molars don't hit those brackets where they were on your band. Your band just goes to a certain spot, and that's where it stops, but you can put the bracket deeper on that. Let me, if I want to use the ink, we're going to discard those ink things, and we'll have to go back again here now and get into the, okay, back again, going on this, we were in the double brackets, but we normally use the single bracket. I have to get this colored pen back again. All right, let's show some other work that we did with this. Now we start the cases off back for years. The most flexible wire we got was a twisted wire. It had about 3 different wires in it. It was twisted, and you could bend it, and it still would work. And we put this wire on most every case to start the case off with. It does a lot of things like rotations, and it levels them from tooth to tooth, and you can actually expand the case or constrict the case by how we tighten them up, and you can do eight or nine things work that this little wire will do. And then you're opening, when you're opening a deep bite, you need something stronger, so we use these intruding wires, and we'd come in and we had double tubes on the lower and triple tubes on the upper, which allowed us to hook these intruding wires. And you could level a case out using two wires like that in about half or a third the time that it'd take you to level it up and get into a wire that you can, a heavy wire to do that. Now, let's get on to something else here. Here we made all the wires we put in. We always put an omega in it. In other words, like that. It'll be coming along, and then you bend it and go up this way. Now you have to sometimes put a bend in this leg to bring the omega out to the molar, sides of the molar if the bicuspid is smaller. But this omega can be used to expand the case, or sometimes we would make this and make it come, make an omega that went out, and then you had a lot of space in it, and we would close it down, and it would be pushing out on the case, and you would get expansion in the archway, and then you could put a spring wherever you wanted it in here, and your expansion would end up in certain places like that. So the brackets that the ladies like to use more, and I like them too, this single bracket, we just did away with the wings on here, just put a bracket, just a single bracket, had a greater space. We could put more torque and more bend in the wire in this 018 or 025 slot. Gives you a smaller wire to do the work with. And if you need any bigger thing, we put the big daddy arch wire on there. So let's go on to, and I'll show you, and there's this omega on both sides. If you want to close space with this, you tie one side correct, and then you go back to the other side. Let's see. You go back to the other side and tighten it. And let me show you how we tighten that. Now this is the wire running through there, through those little bracket slots. And we'll tie this wire down, and then we take an instrument, this is a instrument we use all the time to push on the wire. At the end of this, you can't see it, but it's cupped in. It's got a little a little cut in the end of it, and you put that wire right on this director on here, and you put it on there, and you push on it, and then you wrap about an 012 soft stainless steel wire around the bracket and come up here. And as you push on this, you tighten this wire up, and that you can get this so tight in here, it'll close any space unless you got something bites on that bracket and squeezes it real tight. If they do that, you have to have a little screwdriver. You stick in there and turn it a little, and it'll loosen the gap up in between the bracket. And the bracket, so the gap is 18 thousandths, and then this side, like it would be 18 thousandths in the vertical dimension, In the horizontal convention, it's 25. Let me write that where you see it. 25, but this would be 0.18 or 18 thousandths in this gap right here. And then we nearly finished most of all the cases with a 17.25 wire in there. In other words, it had a millimeter clearance in there, which takes away some of your torque in there, but that's we could finish the cases with a smaller wire. And let's go ahead and look at the other. Now, hooking it up, you take a real pointed little instrument that you can grab the O-rings and take them and just hook them on there, and then come back and hook it on the other side. And or else you use ligatures, which we made ourselves for a while there. You can buy them, but you can make them easily and put the ligatures on it. And if you want to fix it where the ligature holds an elastic, you twist this end up over here. Now, taking it off, we use an Explorer, and you just hook onto the rubber band or the little elastic band and slip it off of the tooth. Now, if you needed to and you were in mixed dentition, a lot of times these teeth were not in fully, and we didn't want to put a wire splitter across here, you'd bend it, so you'd drop it down and come over on the other side and come up and come in with it. If you want to open space for this, you take it and build it with you bend these back and it pushes. In other words, you can make it and bend these things back like that. You'd have to bend them back when you hook it up. So it's pushing this way and this way. And this pushes the tooth, and it pushes the root of the tooth the same way. And when you get it hooked up and you push this back, the bottom will go back like this. Now, if you want a closed space with these, you can hook this up. You hook it, come over here, and you've got your bracket, where you're going to with it, and you pull on this, then this part moves up this way, and the legs move out, and you close the space, and it's bringing the roots of the tooth in the direction that you move the crown. So it's an excellent wire to learn how to use there. So let's go on. Now here's this instrument we use to grab these little plastic rings you put on the teeth, and they come on a wire. You make them, and you take this Explorer, and you can take them off and put them on with that instrument and take them off with an Explorer. And then these are tiebacks that we made and twisted and hook elastics to them. You can make those for them. And this is something several people asking what we actually used in there. So this is it, and I hope you get something from this. Now, I don't care what kind of bracket you use. If you learn how to use it properly, you can do most anything with bonded material on the teeth. So I hope to see you again. I thank you for watching and join our channel, and I hope I can talk better the next time we come on. My voice is going with the rest of the body. So thanks again for watching, and we'll check back with you. And join you, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.